Test, test, test what's going on, y'all. What's going on? Let me know how we sounding. Let me know how we sounding. We got a few subs we're gonna be looking at, y'all. Y'all's yesterday's live. Yesterday pretty much went as projected. We're gonna break that down in a second. We're gonna wait a couple minutes, let some more people hop up in here. Make sure to go ahead and like the lives. Y'all hop up in here. Y'all subscribe if you're not subscribed already. But yeah, we got a couple setups we're looking at right now. We're gonna be looking at GBPJPY just like we were yesterday. You can see here, price rejected this level. It held this level as support. And then last night, as you can see, Tokyo session, price shot up, and broke that level, was struggling to break past. This is the move we was looking for the past couple of weeks. Again, we finally broke that level with the volume yesterday with the news. Same thing with NAS100, right? We was looking for buys here all week to see if we could break that level. We rejected, but we held that level as support. Just like on Monday, we rejected this level, held it as support. So after we rejected this level again during the news, we went for the buy here. Then we rode that wave all the way up. Right? So we had a lot of charts yesterday and last night wake up a little bit and again either break through those levels and continue the trend, or in Golden GU's case, rejected those levels. Because remember, we was in reversal territory with gold, right? Remember I said we break below 32.62, we can look for sales. We broke below that level, dropped. So now we're going to look for continued sales if we can break and hold 32.20 as resistance, right? If we can hold 32.20 resistance, we're going to looking for sales going down to 31.96. Right, then GU, we're in reversal territory with GU as well. We had G and reject as well. So that's some news popping out today. Also, we got 30 Canadian news, 10 million USD news. So make sure to keep those times in mind. We also have a bunch of holidays for the Euro coin. All right. Not going to be going live with the members students during today's news. We'll be going live tomorrow during the unemployment rates and all that good stuff. So we're going to be paying attention to gold for possible sales. We're going to look for continued NAS buys. We're looking for GJ buys too. We're just going to look for a retest. It's a little too high right now for entry. But at this point, GJ can continue to hold 181.95 as support. We can look for buys going to 192.65. All right. And again, this is also why I always talk about during the Sunday chart analysis. Like I always say, the Sunday chart analysis doesn't just go over what we see price doing Sunday night going into Monday. It goes over what we see price doing throughout the entire week. So make sure to check out the Sunday chart analysis. Even though it is Thursday, still check that out just so y'all can see what price is looking like at the beginning of the week. And my projections, see what price been doing so far this week, y'all. So we want to see what this next 15 looks like. What's going on, Full Circle? I see you up in here. Pocket options. That's a little random. Because we don't want to talk about pocket options over here. But I wouldn't really recommend that if you're brand new to trading, because that's going to definitely give you the sense of gambling vibes. Because that is like completely different from day trading, right? So just dropped a new video for y'all yesterday. Make sure to check that out if you haven't already. I'm going to drop that in the chat right now. All right, new 15 just popped up. So we also have some pretty decent moves already happened for the day. Besides NAS100, like when we look at gold, GU, GJ. So we always talk about this, right? London session just started. We already seen a decent move already happen, just one session. So again, like we always talk about when we see things like this happen, not too much with GN. So it's mainly just GJ, gold and GU right now, right? So when we already see a decent sized candlestick for the day, and it's only been one session, we're either going to see one or two things happen. Right? We're either going to see a normally large candlestick for the day, like this one here, or we're going to see a price end up retracing, wick and consolidating, like we see on these candlesticks here, right? So it's going to be definitely interesting what happens, but that's still important to understand when you are taking setups, because again, when you know all the possible things and outcomes that price can make and do, then you know what you need to do, right? And then again, there is no shock or surprise when this or that happens, because you already acknowledged, understood that that or this could happen. You already prepared and ready for it. Let's see what this next 15 looks like. I'm still in this position. I'm just deep in profit on my SLs and profit as well. So in NAS100, if we can hold 19,860 as support, we could look for continued buys going to 2070. Or if it fails to hold as low as support, we can see price try to retrace and retest 19,570 to see if we can maintain and hold that level as support as well. We're going to be looking for buys regardless. Those just joined the stream, we have not entered this trade yet. That's just a trade idea. Make sure to hit that first link in the description. Join the free signal, free Telegram. You see on your screen how we did. Well, it's a new month now, so that's not how we did April. That's going to be updated tomorrow. We'll be posting a recap of how we did last month later on today as well, probably the beginning of the New York session. But if you hit that first link in the description, you can see a sneak peek of how we completed and how we did April. We're going to pull it up in a second as well. I just want to see what we got going on here. Cool. There we go. Yeah, but you had that first link in the description. That's how we're doing this week. We're 3-0 this week so far. So we're taking no losses so far this week. We went 3-0 last week as well. Then the week prior to that, we went 2-1. Then we went 5-0 the week before that. And then the first week of April, we went 4-0. So we only took one loss this month, which is not, well, last month, which is not bad at all. So I'm going to calculate all that up, do the win rate, the pips, all that good stuff. And that's going to be posted at the beginning of the New York session. I'll make sure to be on the lookout for that. But yeah, we've been going crazy so far this year. This is how we ended quarter one. All right, we're month 2 now into quarter 2, y'all. And the Q2 sale is over now, y'all. All right. Shout out to those that got into and took advantage of the sale. We all missed the sale. You know, there'll be another one. I don't know when, but there will be another one, and I'll let y'all know when it happens. But that won't be for a little bit, y'all. This is how we did quarter one, y'all. Just like I see on y'all screens, January went 17-3, February 14-1, March 13-1, in the quarter 44-5, giving us a 90% win rate, catching a total of 155,207 pips. You see this by scrolling to April 2nd, the beginning of last month. You click right here, it's going to take you to the beginning of the year. All right, you'll see also how we ended December last year, all that good stuff. Then you even see how we did quarter 4 last year. You go to where it says subscribers, you scroll down to photos. There's over 1,500 photos, 3 years worth of receipts. You see screenshots of positions, screenshots of signals, student results, testimonials, receipts on cryptos and stocks, going as projected as well, all that good stuff. So make sure to hit that first link in the description and check all that stuff out. Again, we're just waiting for retracements and price to break and hold these next levels here. We do got a few news events popping off today as well. Again, we got news at 8:30 and 10 a.m. popping off today. So make sure to keep those times in mind. And then we got a bunch of holidays that's going to be affecting the euro pairs. Again, we don't just want to enter when price touches or breaks the level. We want to see if we can hold these levels, right? We want to look for sales off resistance levels. And then we want to look for buys off support levels. I'm just going to move this slightly out the way so I can see what price is doing here.
primary control of critical function.
All right, we're pushing back up. I see we can hold this. New 15 about to pop up as well. Let's see what these other charts are up to. Let's see if we can hold this level here. Like I say, we had some big news happen last night and yesterday, and then we got two major news events popping off today. So it's going to be the same thing like yesterday. We don't see any action. Well, we're just 30 minutes in the London session, but just speaking to see what happens between now and then. But we don't see any action between like 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. is most likely going to be chilling up until the news events pop off again. But as you can see here, you're not missing anything. Price has been chilling here for the past few hours. Gold still hasn't broken this level, so we're not going to pull the trigger on that yet. And then we're looking for GJ to retrace a little bit if we want to pull the trigger on that. So again, it's just simply just patience, right? Just like yesterday. Those of us in the London session live, we talked about that yesterday. Then we went live during ADP with the members and students. And same thing, nothing went off during ADP. The volume was even spiking during the ADP news event. So I simply said, okay, nothing happened. So we're going to wait between here and 10 to see what takes place. And then after 10 a.m., we took the NAS100 trade. And then we made some money, right? So it's all about patience. It's all about patience and just sticking to the plan. I see the next thing. Keep pushing for us, so that's what I'm trying to take off right here. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. When we look at any charts, drop them in the chat. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok too, y'all. Y'all see it scrolling at the bottom of y'all screens. Instagram playmaker_way, TikTok _playmakerway_. I like how this is looking right here. All right, we got GJ retesting as well. We've got a couple setups we're looking at here. Some nice retest there. So yeah, I'm looking on NAS and GJ are looking right here. Yeah, I like how this is looking here. Yeah, I like how these are retesting. Right. So that's a nice retest. So we had a question on yesterday's live. And we get this question every now and then when people are like, you know, how long do we need to wait or what exactly is the retest? This is a retest right here, right? Again, this is why it's important to understand the rules of price and how price moves and works because, like we talked about yesterday, retest or retracement is not going to always look the same. You see what I'm saying? If you just simply back test and look in the past, you'll see exactly that, right? Every time price retests the level, it's not going to always look the exact same. Like this one, price retested off a wick we entered, just like with this GU setup here, right? We can see this one was simply holding this level wick and then pushing back up. Then we see a different retest right here. All right, we can just go on and on and on. But if y'all was watching, y'all literally saw price come down like we said we was waiting. We saw price again react to the key price level marked off. And y'all saw it reject back up, right? So again, London session started right here. But unless you jumped in as soon as London session started, you would have been up here looking for a buy sell. That's why I always say don't chase price, but wait for price to retrace. So y'all would have just pitched and waited. Y'all could have got the ideal setup. And then you can see price potentially come back to where we started off at. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, but I like how NAS and GJ are looking. We might jump in one of these in a second. Yeah, so we're going to see how this 15 closes. So again, if NAS100 can hold 19,870 as support, we're going to be looking for buys. Continue buys going to 2060. I'm still in this position. SL is deep in profit, so I'm going to be scaling into this one. And then GJ, again, like we were just talking about, so y'all would have entered off that retest. Y'all could have rolled that wave up and be right where we started the day at, or started London session at, but you'd be in profit right now. You see what I'm saying? This is why you got to be patient and trust the playbook and your analysis. It's very, very, very simple. It's very, very, very simple. We got NAS. Yes, we're going to see how this closes. We got a minute until the next 15 pops up. What's going on, DJ? Do you have any videos on how to mark off your lines? I go over that in the one-on-one sessions in the course. All that's linked in the description. Where I go over the full process of how to read the chart step by step, how to mark off the key price levels, how I enter trades, scaling the trades, SLs, TPs, all that good stuff. I break it down step by step in the one-on-one sessions in the course. What's the difference between a retest and a retracement? A retracement is simply just, that's a good question. So let's talk about that really quick. So we're just going to keep this chart here because I am paying attention to this and I'm paying attention to GJ as well. So we're going to keep this chart here and we're just going to draw right here, right? So this is a good question. So a retracement has to do with the flow of price, right? So again, there's 3 cycles price is always going to be in. I talk about this in the playbook, the price action technical analysis playbook, right? There's the uptrend, and then there's the downtrend, and then there's the third cycle consolidation. So in the uptrend, what does the uptrend consist of? The uptrend consists of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. So in the uptrend, the big push when volume comes in would be the higher high. So the retracement would be the higher low. So the retracement is simply price doing exactly what it says, retracing, coming down, right? Downtrend is the exact same thing, but the opposite. The push would be when volume comes in and pushes us down, because we're in a downtrend, so that'd be the lower low, and the retracement would be the lower high, right? So the difference between a retracement and a retest is what we look for as an extra confirmation to enter a trade, right? A retracement is simply price taking a break from the push up or push down and then continuing, right? So that's the difference between a retracement and a retest, right? A retest is what we look for when we're looking for confirmation to enter a trade. So like for example, right? For example, I always talk about I don't want to breakout trade. I always talk about I want to wait for price to break and hold a level as support, right? So the retest is see if the price doesn't just break a level, but if it can also hold that support. So we clearly see here that price broke this level, but off the retest, it failed to hold that support, right? Versus, let me try to find another one. Just like here, when price broke this level, you did a retest, it failed to hold that support. So our retest can also correspond with the retracement, but it's two different things, right? So yeah, we just been chilling. We got consolidation taking place here. Let's see what else we got going on here. Good question though. What's going on, Richie? I see you up in here. But yeah, it's like we talked about at the beginning of this week, yesterday, and what I talk about all the time. The first and last week are usually the toughest weeks to trade every month due to all the reports and things like that. But again, if you can trade any market conditions, you'll be very successful, and trading will be easy when we have the high volume and the easy moves come into play, right? But this is again when the discipline comes into play, right? You just got to stick to the game plan and ignore everything else. Now, obviously, it's easier said than done, but you can get to this point. You just got to break the bad habits and really want it, right? So, again, we didn't take a trade at all Tokyo session Tuesday night going into Wednesday. Y'all was in the London session live, volume was super dead and slow. We didn't take any setups during London session. And we waited till all the news events. Like we literally did not take the trade, right? I could show y'all this. We literally did not take the trade. And I gotta let me do that. I'll do that after the live. I gotta upload the recording of the live. My bad, Jeff. I forgot to upload that in the channel yesterday. Right. But again, we waited till all the news popped off. We went live during the 8:15 news. 8:30 news popped off, and then we waited for the 10 a.m. news. Then we dropped the New York price watch list at 10:25, going over NAS100. You can see us going over NAS100 right here. And we broke down the buy setup that we took 15 minutes later, right? So again, it's all about patience, right? And this goes back to when people are like, "Oh, what session you trade? What session you trade?" We trade any session, right? But again, it varies. It varies. That's why we tell people like it's situational, right? Because did I just decide to only trade New York session yesterday because I felt like it? No, but because of the market conditions and I know how to read the charts, I simply took my trade during New York session, right? But we take trades during New York session, we take trades during London session, we take trades London session. I know we took one during Tokyo session last week. We take trades during Tokyo session. Doesn't matter. If the setups are there or confirmations are met, we're taking the setup, we're pulling the trigger. It's that simple, right? All this stuff about New York session, the best session to trade, that's not necessarily true. There's high volume and low volume. Just look at the charts last night. Tokyo session went crazy, right? So when people talk about, oh, Tokyo session no volume, or New York session is the only time there's volume, just look at the chart yesterday. That debunks shit, right? So again, we see GJ pushing. Let's see if NAS is doing something. Nope, NAS is not. NAS is not. I was trying to scale into my NAS position. We talked about DJ, but I was focusing on NAS100. So I'm in NAS100. I was trying to add another position. I'm currently up. The trade I called was a 1 to 3. But if y'all watch my video on TikTok, it's going to be posting on Instagram later on today. I'm up 1 to 5 on this trade, right? And that's simply because my position, I just did a tighter stop off. It was a lot more aggressive. But as far as the signal, I was a lot safer with the signal, with the stop loss a little bit wider. So if we took the signal, it was a 1 to 3, which is still not bad at all. Whenever you're rich, you make 3 times that amount. So we had a nice 1 to 3 yesterday. Tuesday, we took a buy, hit TP1, didn't reject it. Monday, we caught a nice 1 to 6 ratio setup. So just this week alone, we're up a stupid amount. You get what I'm saying? And those are just the signals, right? If you've been tuning into the lives, these 2 or 3 charts every day, besides maybe Tuesday, because the one was dead Tuesday. So besides maybe Tuesday, multiple charts being connected every day. So we got retesting. So I'm just gonna leave the alert up here. So it takes off, tries to break that level and do something. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. When we do charts, drop them in the chat. Just dropped a new video for y'all yesterday. Make sure to check that out after the live if you have not already. All playlists are up to date. So it looks like NAS might try to do something. So we got a lot to try to do something this next hour. So yeah, we're paying attention to NAS. Yeah, so I'm liking how NAS is looking. Again, in gold, we're going to be looking for sales if we can break the whole 32.22 as resistance. If gold can do that, we're going to be looking for sales going to 31.98. Now, GN, we can still look for buys if we can break back above and hold 2470 as support. If we can hold 2470 as support, we could look for buys come back up to this resistance level at 2565. But for the uptrend to continue, it's going to have to break this level as well as hold it as support for the uptrend to continue. Now, if it rejects this level again, especially if it breaks below 2320, we're back looking for sales, right? We can see short-term sales if it holds 2385 as resistance, but the downtrend will come back into play if we're holding 2315 as resistance, right? So we still have bullish momentum on this. So it's going to be very interesting to see how today and tomorrow play out. That's still chilling. So we're going to see what this next hour looks like. Got about 3 minutes to the next 15 an hour pops up. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. Want to look at any charts, drop them in the chat. These lives are for y'all. All right. Shout out to everybody in the live. I'm going to go ahead and hop off. This is still going to be on the chart shot. Again, we got news at 8:30 and 10 a.m. today, so make sure to keep those times in mind. And then we got Euro news hopping off for the coins all day today. Shout out to everybody that's been in the live. Shout out to everybody that's been in the live since the beginning. Shout out to everybody that's been in the live since y'all joined. Make sure to hit that first link in the description. Join the free sitting room, free Telegram. All right, y'all. About to see something pop off in a little bit, maybe. We do got you breaking back above this level here. Again, if we can hold 24.65 as support, we can look for buys 25.60. GBP's pushing. If we can maintain a hold 191.90 as support, we can look for buys 192.65. Gold, we can look for sales if we can hold 32.60 as resistance or break below hold 32.22 as resistance. But we fail to hold either one of those two lows as resistance, then we're not going to look for sales anymore. And then when that's 100, we're going to be looking for buys too. So we can hold 19.850 as support. We can look for buys going to 20.70. Or if we reject this level, we can see price retrace down to 19.570. And then we can look for buys there. All right. So that's the game plan for today, y'all. GU, we still have bullish momentum. We end up respecting that level as support here. So we're going to bring this alert back up, actually. Still see possible buys here. It's got a little bit of work to do, though. But yeah, we'll be back at the same time tomorrow. London session 3 a.m. EST.